What I'm about to walk you through almost feels illegal to know. However, it could blow up businesses. A few months ago, I had a client doing $700,000 in sales every single month, and the main driver of their sales was using influencer marketing. Today, we're going to go show you how you can get a CSV thousands long of your top creators with their emails ready for you to email. So in the next 10 minutes, you'll see why Google could be your best friend for generating you leads of your favorite creators. Well, how will this work? Google has a feature called Boolean search filters, where you're allowed to get results from a specific site, and you could have the results only contain certain keywords. To walk you through what the search was, I said, I only want the site to be Instagram, and I want the results to include an email domain. So gmail.com, iCloud.com, or outlook.com. Additionally, I wanted it to only include results from people that had over 1,000 followers. Typically, Instagram will show like 10,000 plus followers. Then we could use that for our advantage in the search. Next up, we could also have another keyword called UGC. Or if we didn't want to have a UGC creator, we could just have something called a digital creator. And we could change this however we want. But the underlying technology is still the same. You type in this string into Google, and then you get emails. The hard thing here is, how can you completely automate this? Well, that's where another tool comes in. It's called Apify. Apify, what this is going to be able to help us with is to extract all of these emails at scale. If we want to extract 100 emails, instead of copying and pasting every single one, you just have to press a button, and then this will do all the heavy lifting for you. How can we connect Google, and then how can we connect Apify? That's where Make.com comes in, where it's going to be able to pull the results from Apify and then dump all those leads into a Google Sheet. That's the overview. Let's jump in. So let's get to cooking with this automation. What we're going to go do is go into Apify. Then we're going to go do Google search. We're going to go find an actor. And there's already pre-built actors that we could leverage. So I believe, which one was I using before? Google search results scraper. Sweet. So I believe this is the one that we're using. And then just so that I could connect it to Make.com, I'm going to need to go to, let's go to the API here. No. API endpoints. Let's get my API key. We're going to go copy this. And then we're going to go to Make.com. We're going to go do a set multiple variables module. We're going to go type in custom text. And then we're going to go make a new Apify connection. The way that we could do this is we're going to go run an actor. We're going to go add a new connection. So what we want to do next after we created a connection is we want to go back to Apify, and we're going to go run a manual scrape. So we're going to go copy and paste this search string into Apify. And then we're going to go run it once. The reason why we want to do this is we want to have this actor attached to our account. So it'll take 20 seconds to load. Let me just pause this. Okay, so the run completed, and what we should see is a list of 50 items. And then you could see the text that's a part of the search. And then this is what we're going to be combing through to gather the emails that we could then reach out to. So going back to our Make.com scenario here, we are then going to go choose this Google search scraper. And then we want to add some input JSON. You might ask, well, hey, what is JSON? You don't have to know what it is. But going back to the Google search scraper, what we're then going to go do is click on this button that says JSON. I believe it stands for JavaScript Object Notation. I'm not a dev, but it's very powerful when you want to start connecting tools. So what we're going to go do is in the input JSON field, we're then going to go paste it, clearing the formatting. So I pressed Shift, Option, Command, V, and we're going to go want to add in the tile that we previously created. So we're then going to go delete this digital creator text option here. And then we're going to go add our custom text. After this is done, we're going to go press OK. And then after this is set up, we could then add some names to the modules. Each of these circles here are called modules. And then we're going to go say run Google search scraper. Now, what this will do is it will trigger a scrape. So if we want to find, let's just say, restaurants, we'll click OK. And then we'll be able to run the actor. So this will start the actor, but it won't necessarily return the results. To get the results, what we're going to want to do is to set up a second automation. And just to show you that this first automation is working, we'll go back to Apify, and then we'll go to our runs. Now we have an overview of all of our individual actor runs, but if we want to see the results of a specific run, what we will then do is click into a row, and then we'll click into the organic results. Now you can see a list of 50 leads here, and most of them have their emails inside of the text. So that we could set up an automation where once an actor is finished with a run, which would be called a successful run, we then want to call another automation. What we're then going to go do is set up an integration here. And we're going to go set up a webhook. And this is going to go trigger once a run is successful. And we're going to go need a URL. What this is referencing is on a second automation, what we could do is we could create a webhook. And now we're going to be able to give this a name. And let's just say that it will be influencer leads from Apify. We're going to go give it a date. And then we're going to go save it. After this is completed, it will then return us a URL that we'll be able to use and input into Apify. So we're going to go copy this address. We're then going to go paste it. And now we're going to be able to save and test it. What we're going to go do so that we could test it is we're going to go X out of here. We're going to go right click the red module, the webhook, and then we're going to go click run this module only. So now this is waiting for a potential ping so that we could test the ping. We're going to go press save and test. Let's go back to the second automation. And now what you're going to go see is a sample webhook. Here we go. We have Chuck Norris over here. He's pretty cool. Now, what I want to do is I want to test the second automation with real data. So I'm going to go back to run this module once. I'll come over here and let's just say that we want to get digital creators. I'm going to go press OK. And I'm going to go run this once. So the first automation is triggering the actor to start scraping Google. And it should take roughly 20 seconds for this run to complete. Now I'm going to go back to the second automation. And I'm guessing in just a few moments, we'll see the results of that first run. So it says that it's successful. We have the actual data. And now what I'm going to go walk you through is how we can get the specific emails from Apify and into our make.com scenario. So what we're going to go need to do is create a new module. We're going to go back into Apify. And then we're going to go select get dataset items. From here, you're going to go select your connection account. You're going to go into the webhook and then search for the dataset ID. You're going to go drag that variable over. And then you're going to go increase the limit from 100 potentially to 1,000. And then you're going to go press OK. What I want to do now is I want to go find this dataset ID. So to do that, I'm going to go into the event data, not the actor run ID. We are looking for the dataset ID. I'm going to go copy it. And I just want to go run this get dataset items module once. I'm going to go click run once. I'm going to go paste it in, and then I'm going to go press OK. So what we had before in Apify is we were searching for organic results, and we could find those results over here. So because we inputted it in the first module that we wanted to get 50 results per run, we could find those 50 over here. Now, what happens if I want to be able to reference the specific emails in this automation? What I'm going to go need to do is add an iterator module so that we could iterate through the array. So we're going to go into the array where it was called organic results. Then we're going to go press OK. Now, if we click into this data over here, what we're then going to go see is that in each collection, so there are multiple collections within an array. We'll show you how the structure of this collection is built out. We have the title, we have the URL, we have the displayed URL, and then we have the description where a lot of the emails will be held within. So what we're then going to go do is we're going to go add something called a regex module, where we are then going to see if each and every single description contains an email that we could use and that we could reach out to. So we're going to go click match pattern over here. We're going to go select the advanced option. We're then going to go add the text to search, and then we're going to go add the title. We're then going to go add the displayed URL, and then also the description. And what this module is doing is it's checking for an email pattern. So the email pattern that we're going to go use is this over here. What we're doing here is we are looking for the pattern that typically an email will contain. It has text before the @ symbol and then text after the @ symbol. And then we're going to go press OK. What I'm going to go do is I just want to go test this second part of the automation. So I'm going to go run this once over here. I'm going to go disconnect this path. I'm then going to go move where this automation is getting triggered from. And because I don't want to lose this variable, I'm going to go copy it. And then I'm just going to go create a new set module or set variable module here. Then I'm just going to go paste it in here, for example. And now we have that variable saved. And I'm going to go paste the dataset ID that I previously had over here. Then I'm going to go press OK. So we're going to go run this automation again. And let's click run anyway. And now what we should see here is a fallback match. So here's one email. Here's a second email. Here's a third email. A fifth. A sixth. Okay, so we're pretty boring over here. So what we want to do now is we want to validate all of these emails. So the best way that we could do that is we could go into a debounds, a mails.so, a lead magic type of API call or a module. You don't really need this, but I like to make sure that if I'm sending an email to someone, that the email is valid. So I'm going to go click into debounds over here. Let's add in the fallback match. We're going to go press OK. And then what we want to do here is we're going to go add a filter. We're going to go add a filter between the match pattern module and then the email validation. We don't want to try and validate an email if it does not exist. So we're going to go click onto this dotted line between these two modules. And then we're going to go say that if the fallback match, this exists filter over here, and then we're going to go press OK. So let's see this in action. Let's run it. Jumping into the results, what we could see is that we tried to find an email 50 times. And there's only an email in the description 45 out of those 50 times. So what we tried to do is we validated all 45 emails, and now we should have an idea of whether an email is safe to send or if it's undeliverable and it's risky to send. So we want to add this into a Google Sheet. So what we could then do now is create a Google Sheet and then add each and every single email into the sheet. Okay, cool. So let's make a new tab, sheets.new. Let's name this influencer leads. We'll give it a date. We'll give it an URL. We'll give it an email status. And I think that should be good for now. So let's go back to the run here, or the automation. And now let's close out this iterator. So we're going to go add in a text aggregator. We're then going to go say that the Apify get dataset items is the source module. And then we're going to go click on advanced settings. So because we're going to go do an API call to Google Sheets after, what we want to do is select the other option for a row separator. We're going to go have a comma being the row separator. And then we don't have to group it by anything. But the proper format to follow for this is we want a bracket, and then we're just going to go test this with A, E, C, D. And we're going to go close the bracket. And then we're going to go press OK. After this, we're going to go make an API call to Google Sheets. We're going to go need the URL, or just this section of the URL. Actually, I think it's this one. Spreadsheets all the way to this one. Let's go back to the automation. Then we have to add in, I believe it's values. What is it? It's values. Then it's A to Z colon append. The method is a post. Content type is application JSON. We're going to go add a parameter here, which is values input option as the key. And then the value will be user entered. In terms of the body, what we're going to go do is we're going to go have a curly bracket, apostrophes, values. And then we're going to go have a colon here. We're going to go have a bracket. We're going to go reference this text. We're going to go close out the brackets. And then we're going to go have a curly bracket to end it. I'm going to go press OK. So now what I'm going to go want to do here is I just want to test this make an API call module. So I'm going to go copy this formatting over here. And then let's paste it within the array. Let's press OK. And let's see if it is working. So we have this error here. It's normal to run into errors with make.com. You know why I can't get it? I can't X out of this, but let's see exactly what is wrong. So going through it, I forgot to take out this D sign. So I'm going to go take that out. I'm going to go press OK. And let's run this again. And now we have a 200. So a 200 means that the API call was successful. So if we go back into our influencer lead sheet, what we should see here is that we have the value for A, B, C, and D equaling the date, URL, email, and then email status. So now all that we have to do is, if we go back to our text aggregator here, I need to replace these values. So at first we had the date. So I'm going to go use the function, which is format date, open it up. Okay, why is that not working? Format date. Here we go. Now, so it's going to go take the current timestamp. We're going to go have a semicolon, and then we're going to go use the following tokens. We're going to use month, or DD for date, and then for uppercase Y's for the year. Then we're going to go close out this function. We're going to go also take out this empty space. And now we have a completed. The next thing that we need to do is add in the URL, then the email status. So going back to the second automation here, let's add in the URL. So where's the URL? It's over here. Let's add in the email, which will be the fallback match. And then lastly, we need to add the status of the email, if it is deliverable or not. So I believe we could use the result here, and then that should work. So let's test this as a whole, because I don't want to wait for 50 seconds or for 50 validations. We're going to go limit it to limit the test to be under 3 operations. Less than. We're going to go press OK here. And now let's see how this works. We're going to go delete these fields. We'll go back to the second automation and let's click run once. Now let's see what we have. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to go back to the API call and replace this hard-coded values here with the actual text. So we will press OK. Let's run this again. And now we should have influencer leads. Okay, so we have the emails. We have the date over here. This is looking good. Now let's just go ahead and delete these columns. Let's put this as bold. And why did it not add in the 3? Let's see. Okay, so we said less than, not less than or equal to 3. So we're just going to go take out this rule here. We'll press OK. And now we should return or filter through all the leads from the Apify search. So let's wait. So the automation just ran. We had 50 organic results from Apify. We only let 45 of them get validated. And we added 50 leads or 45 leads into this sheet automatically, not doing it one by one. Now, going back to the automation, what we will do now is we will add this variable here that we initially took out from the automation. And now we're just going to go change where the automation is getting triggered from. So we're going to go replace the hard-coded variable, which was the dataset ID, with a dynamic variable from the webhook, like this. And now if I wanted to test this 2-part automation, what I'm going to go do now is first I'm going to go press save. Don't want to lose this. And then I'm going to go press run once. So if I want to change which variable I'm searching for through Google, we could say UGC creator now. I'll press OK. And then I'm going to go run this once. Now, in just a few seconds, probably in about 10 or 15 seconds from now, we will catch the webhook from Apify. We will get the dataset IDs or the dataset ID. We will iterate through all of the items. We'll validate the emails, and then we'll make one API call into our Google Sheet. And you'll see it make one API call right here. And going back to our influencer lead sheet, you can see now that we have more emails. And we also included a few emails that were invalid. So we should know which ones we want to avoid. So in an ideal world, if you wanted to filter out all of the ones that were invalid, you could either filter it out inside the automation, or you could filter it out on Google Sheets. If you wanted to filter it out on Google Sheets, what you could do is go to data, create a filter, click on these 3 lines, and then you would have to deselect this invalid option and then press OK. Now you are only seeing safe to send emails. So that's the automation. What we saw today is that you could dynamically scrape Google to get emails, and then you could also validate those emails and put them all into a Google Sheet. If you like this type of content, definitely feel free to subscribe below or comment and let me know what else you'd like me to automate. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.